What's good, people? Esteban Jimenez Osorio here, also known as Estadon. I'm a hip hop artist, entrepreneur, investor, hustler. And this is the Hustle Investing Podcast where we inspire and empower y'all to invest. Presented by Hustle Holdings, company dedicated to inspiring and empowering people to hustle. And we want to inspire and empower y'all to invest, to hustle through investing in this podcast. And for those who don't know, hustle basically means just like making money, being an entrepreneur, investor, enterprising, building businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like hustling, you know what I'm saying? Like being a hustler. And there's a way to hustle investing in a way for you to make money, like if you learn the right principles and you learn the things that are going to make you money. And I've learned those things, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I've learned enough to be able to make money in the markets. And the reason why I'm making this podcast to inspire and empower people to invest is because, especially now, is just because, one, obviously with all these tariffs happening and all this stuff, I think there's going to be a great opportunity to buy assets cheap. So those who are prepared are going to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. And number two, the reason why I want to inspire and empower you to invest is because I've seen the difference between people that invested their money and made money work for them, and then I saw the people that always worked hard for money or always tried to make something happen with their own business and worked hard for money, and I saw how that worked out. And I'm like, yeah, like making your money work for you definitely seem to yield better results than working for money and saving, And so I came from two worlds, where my parents came from Colombia and they did what they did to move us here in the Western world. And I saw them build businesses. My dad, an entrepreneur, independent contractor, built his own business from his skills, his talents, and be able to, really make something happen. And my mom moving up in the company and having an opportunity to start our own businesses. And that was great. But when shit hit the fan, shit really hit the fan. And we dealt with a lot of problems with our mental health, on my dad's side of things, and not to put his business out there, but we went through a lot of shit, illegal immigration and a bunch of stuff, and divorce and a lot of bullshit. And so it was just unfortunate to see that happen. But I saw what it was like to just go hardcore, do your own business, work hard kind of thing, And then I saw somebody who wasn't as hardworking, consistent, but made his money work for him. When we came to Canada, my mom got with a Canadian guy, white guy, and he's somebody who made his money work for him. He would put his money into the stock market or into real estate or whatever it was, and made his money work for him. And I saw how that turned out, and I was like, oh yeah, like that's better. Like that yields better results. It's more stable. It's better quality of life. And just being around his name is Mike. Being around Mike was just like, oh yeah, like I wanted to make money work for me. I wanted to invest. I wanted to invest in stocks. I wanted to invest in real estate, and I wanted to own my own home, and I wanted to have equity in things, And so, and then I'd get around Mike's parents, and be like, oh shit, like, look at this. Like, these motherfuckers just fucking chilling, they're fucking chilling. They're doing good, And as far as I know, they did something very similar. They made their money work for them. So I was like, oh yeah, like there's a formula here of making your money work for you, and that can work, And so I'm like, yeah, like, and that may not be the full story, but it's like, that's part of the story. And that story definitely was consistent in my life, seeing that and being like, yeah, like that seems to work. And so what I'm trying to do is, you guys can see I have these hats, this logo, the hoodie, you know what I'm saying? And I'm building a brand here, you know what I mean? To inspire and empower people to hustle. I'm building a business. But I'm also making my money work for me, I'm also putting my money to work, and I don't think you have to choose one or the other, A lot of people are like, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm building my business and this is the only thing I'm investing in, And some people are just like, no, I'm working a job and I'm just going to invest in whatever the markets over the long term. I think the best is to do both, to do a combination of both. That seems to yield the best results for me. And so that's why I invest in shit like this, you know? As you can see, you know, I got this from Calgary Gold here in Canada. In Canada, in Calgary. I invest in shit like this, you know? Not to brag, but it's just like, just being honest, bro. Like, I invest in, 1 second. Holy moly, it's hiding. Gresham's Law. Shout out to Kiyosaki. I invest in shit like this, you know? See this? DNA Maples, 1 ounce silver, you know? And so when I have cash flowing assets and, you know, hard money and things like that, and I want to get into real estate, I want to buy my own home and maybe rent out a piece of it, and I want to make my money work for me, you know? And I've done that before. You know, in the little bit of experience I've had, I've seen the effects of that. Little bit of experience I have, I've seen the effects of putting my money to work for me. When I was working at Lowe's is like, I had an opportunity to buy shares of the company at 15% discount. And then like I happened to run into a friend of mine who was investing in stocks, trading stocks for a living, you know? And he taught me how to invest in stocks. And I was like, this is sick. And I happened to be investing in a bull market. I got lucky. If I invested in a bear market, maybe I wouldn't have been as lucky. But still, it's just like I caught the bug early, you know? And then I started investing in Google and Spotify and GLD and Home Depot and things that I felt I understood, you know? And it was just like, yeah, like I saw the effects of that. And I was like, this is way better, you know? And then like I saw the effects of people that like were very skeptical of putting their money in the markets, saving cash or whatever it is. I mean, it's fine. People do well. Like they'd rather do real estate or something like that, and that's cool. But it's like, man, like seeing the effects of people making their money work for them, it's just like way better. You know, so it's like that seemed to be a very clear difference growing up, was like people making their money work for them or working for money. And it was like making their money work for them seemed to yield better results. And I remember at some point I had like 2 ounces of gold and like 3K of Bitcoin and however much of stocks. And it was just like, man, if I would have just held on to that, I saw it like once Trump got elected and everything went up, I was like, bro, like this shit nearly doubled. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, like, and obviously things are down now and, you know, things are crashing again, but still, it's like just seeing the opportunity to capitalize on something like that, you know, to see your money double in a so short amount of period of time. It's like, that's fucking dope, you know? And so I'm just like, man, like that's the way to go for me, you know? Of course, I like starting businesses. Businesses is another way to invest. And I encourage people to do that because it's like you can take your investment in your own hands, you know? And so that's always been fun. But I've seen the results of people that just do that and they're chasing a dream and they're like, especially coming from the music community. You guys see, I have music equipment here. I'm an artist, hip hop artist. I make music. And I've seen people that just chase the dream and they're deluded in the dream and they're like, man, I'm staying down with the culture and it's all about the music and I'm just gonna fucking do this thing for the love of it. And it's like, I respect that and that's great. But just seeing their quality of life and the way they live and people are still renting in their 30s and struggling to find a place to live and struggling to make ends meet and living with their parents. And it's like, I saw that, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, like, I don't think that's the way to go. As much as I respect that and I love y'all, like, that's probably not the way to go, you know. There's something to learn from that, fulfillment and happiness and things like that and leaving a legacy and having an impact on the community. But I saw people that just went in their dream, you know, it's just like, I'm doing the dream. And they never really made their money work for them. You know, they didn't understand business and investing. And then I saw people that invested and I was like, oh yeah, like that's way better, you know, like, but then they were missing that fulfillment, that happiness, so I think the best combination is to do both. I saw people that did both and it was just like, yeah, like that seems to work a lot better, you know? And so, and that's my formula, you know? I invest in my businesses and the things that I want to do and I invest in my dream, but I also make money work for me, you know? And that seems to yield pretty good results for me. So that's what it is. And I want to just like kind of just share that, like seeing like the results, the effects of making your money work for you can be pretty incredible. So I want to inspire and empower y'all to invest, build wealth, make your money work for you. Don't just work hard for money. It's like the lesson number one of Rich Dad Poor Dad, you know? So great book. I recommend that book. But yeah, make your money work for you, invest. Dope. Peace. Yeah.